Hello everyone, I am Darcy's mom. Today, I'm going to introduce a floral pattern for you. This pattern is suitable for knitting baby clothes. The pattern uses 6 stitches. 6 rows make up a complete pattern. As for the starting stitches, you start with multiples of 6. Then, add 3 more stitches. This is to make both sides symmetrical. I also added 2 edge stitches. In total, I added 5 stitches. If knitting in the round, just cast on multiples of 6. Okay, next, I'll demonstrate how to work this pattern in detail. First row, right side. Edge stitch. Knit 3 stitches. One purl stitch. Knit 1 stitch, wrapping the yarn around twice. Then, knit 1 purl stitch. The 6-stitch pattern is done this way. Continue repeating the sequence. 3 knits. 1 purl. 1 stitch, wrapping the yarn around twice. 1 purl. Keep repeating this down the row. The 2 purl stitches in the twice wrapped stitch. Always knit these as purl stitches, no matter how the rest changes. These are always purl stitches. Then, these 3 stitches are knitted for 3 rows as knits, 3 rows as purls. That's the pattern change. In these places, it's particularly nice to knit. Just be careful with the center stitch. It's the 5th stitch. It has variations. Just pay attention to this stitch. 3 knits. 1 purl. 1 stitch, wrapping the yarn around twice. Now, the stitch, some people knit it like this. They knit 2 stitches, but it's actually just a twice wrapped stitch. Then knit 1 purl. Okay. Keep going until the end. In flat knitting, you add 3 extra stitches on both sides, for symmetry. That's the first 3 stitches of the 6-stitch pattern. Knit 3. Then comes the edge stitch. That's the end of the first row. The second row, the reverse side. Edge stitch. 3 purls. Then this stitch that is wrapped around twice. Pick it up directly. I don't know. The thread is wrapped around from the top. Then knit this stitch. Repeat this way. On the mountain. A moment. Wrap the thread up. Take off the stitch that has been wrapped twice. Wrap the thread down again. Knit the stitch behind. Okay, just keep repeating this way. 3 up. A moment. Wrap the thread up. Pick it apart. Now wrap it down. Weave it. Okay, let's do this cycle. After finishing the second row, third row, front row. Side stitch. 3 times. One time up. This stitch now knits 1 stitch. More than 3 stitches. Three stitches down and 1 stitch up, 1 stitch down and 1 stitch up. This is how you knit the 6-stitch pattern. 3 stitches on the first, on the second, on the first, and so on, until the last thread is only 3 stitches. Add knitting needles. After the 3rd row is finished, the 4th row, the first 3 stitches are seen from the front. It will become the upper stitch. Then on the reverse side, we knit the lower stitch. Side stitch 3 times. This lower stitch is still knitting the lower stitch. Then this one is knitting the upper stitch. This is the knitting stitch. You knit whatever stitch you want. Then this becomes the knitting stitch. Knitting stitches on the reverse side. The front side is the knitting stitch. This pattern is knitted together. That is more than 5 times. Look, this is 1 needle. Okay. More than 5 lines. 5 lines. Once it goes up, it goes down in a cycle. Knit until the end of the loop. 4 lower stitches. This place plus this stitch is 4 lower stitches. Okay. Just keep looping and eating. Finally, this is 4 lower stitches. It's connected. Last stitch. The 4th row is finished. The 5th row, stitch 3 up. This place has 3 rows of knitting. 3 rows of knitting. Keep knitting in this staggered pattern. Now knit this stitch. This is the one we knitted at the beginning, this knitting stitch that goes around twice. In the 5th row, it looks like this. First, pick it up in the form of the lower needle. Change the direction of the needle. Okay, then, insert the right needle to the place below. 123 in the 3rd circle. That is the place where the hole is relatively large. Insert it in. Pick out a needle from here. After picking it out, the needle is hung like this. Hang it like this. It looks better. Then do 2 to 1. Knit the next half stitch of 2 to 1. The pattern is beautiful. Then knit again. The pattern is like this. How about connecting them together? It's knitting 5 times. This is a good stitch. First change the direction of the needle. Pick it up from here. If you don't want to, you can also wind the wire from the back to the front. Wrap it like this. Just scrape it like this. You can do it this way. It's simpler to see. Then weave it 2 to 1. So, it's the same effect as hanging the thread just now. It's just that when you are eating, it's easy to forget this. Wrap the thread from the back to the front. Five on. Knit this needle and change direction. It's better to wrap the thread from the back to the front. This is how it's hung. You don't have to hang it upside down like this. You don't have to hang it up like this. Just hang it up like this. 2 in 1. When you practice, it's easier to forget. You can just hang it upside down. First, change the direction of the building blocks. Okay. Then hang the line like this. At 2 to 1. However convenient, how to know. Use whichever method you like. Two, 5 up. Change direction. Will. Scraping. Good. He won't twist when he eats this way. He's smoother. The last stitch is knitting. 4 stitches. The last stitch is knitting. Okay, this is the 5th row of eating. Row 6. Row 6 is knitted on the reverse side. Knit the entire row with the lower needles. This stitch also refers to the lower stitch. What if you are a circle? You only need to knit 1 row of upper stitches in this row. After finishing this row, the whole pattern is finished. Then just start eating from the first row in a loop. The pattern is very simple. Knit this pattern for your baby. Small cardigan or a pullover. Adults can also eat with it. But I feel that it seems better to knit for babies. Small flower patterns are suitable for knitting sweaters for babies. So this flower pattern is especially suitable for babies. Okay, row 6. The whole stitch is done. This is the result after weaving. Because I use this thread, it is a cotton thread. It feels rough. If it is woven with wool thread, it will look better. Okay, that's all for today's flower patterns. Do you like it? If you like it, save it.